Show that gets you ready for the week of football that lies ahead returns to your social media. This is All Things Football, the penultimate episode of the season. Good afternoon, welcome to it. My name is Apiwe Roto. Mr. All, you know me as Mr. All Things Football. The Premier League title race has come down to the wire. The PSL draws to a close next week. This is the penultimate weekend where all games will be kicked off simultaneously at 3 p.m. Big things have been happening in the world of football. Let's talk about the news that are making headlines. This is All Things Football available on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button should you take a liking to the show. If you're new to the show, welcome. If you want to see more of the previous episodes from season 1 and season 2 up to now, season 3, go to the Facebook page, All Things Football, and like the page for all the to see all the videos dating back from the 14th of August 2021. News making headlines in the world of football. We start with what has been taking place with regards to the latest in VAR. Chairperson of the South African Football Association National Committee. Now, there have been complaints about the VAR, about the refereeing decisions, which has seen referees get suspended and been moved to officiate in the lower leagues to get their areas straight, houses and order. We've seen Bongile Tom and Jelly Chabani, just to mention a few, being called out on making some technical errors which have proved costly for other teams. News making headlines. Chairperson of the South African National Referee Committee Victor Gomes has confirmed that the implementation of the video assistant referee could be approaching the PSL soon. Victor Gomes, who's also a former referee, FIFA referee. We spoke about this during a SAFA, spoke about this implementation, and which is moving at a quick pace, according to according to Mr. Gomes, and the implementation rather of the video assistant referee, according to here, is in the Premier Soccer League, which is the PSL, is moving at a rapid pace, and now Vice President of CAF Referees Committee and Chairman of SAFA Referees Committee, Victor Gomes rather, has provided the latest update and provided the latest update on the technology. Now there have been cries for the errors because of the errors that have been happening in the PSL. We saw that from 2021 and the MTN 8 quarterfinal between Mamelodi Sundowns and Kaizer Chiefs, where Sundowns emerged victorious in a penalty shootout. Cries for the implementation of VAR in the PSL have been growing louder by the week as questionable refereeing decisions continue to hog the spotlights and coming at a cost to a number of teams and spectators alike, which has seen teams get relegated over the years. Now, there have been talks about VAR coming to the league over the last year, so though there's been no official word of where the technology will take the PSL, the innovation appears closer than initially anticipated, with budget talks after it was said that the technology would prove costly. Speaking during a meeting during an interview at the COSAFA Awards, which took place at the Sandton Convention Center last week, Victor Gomes was quoted as saying, "We're sitting for some budgetary costs in the next 2 weeks, and that's how we are ready." Gomes told journalists at the COSAFA Awards in Sandton. We've been working for the past year, but it's not something you can switch on and say we're ready to do it. You need to go through the process and the budgets, so it's quite intense, meaning it's going to be quite costly. VR is the future of football, he goes on to say, and it'll help the PSL or help any league in the world. VAR is here to stay, which is coincidentally which makes the situation tricky because in the Premier League, Wolverhampton Wanderers have lodged an appeal, or should I say a petition, inviting the other 19 teams to also have a say on whether or not the VAR should continue in the new season after they've been on the receiving end of some bad decisions that have proved costly over the matches. A meeting was held in the was held on Thursday. We don't have the results yet with regards to what happened at that meeting, but should the results come out next week on the on the season finale, I will bring you those details. VR is the future of football, and it'll help the PSL. It'll help any league, according to Victor Gomes, and it will help anywhere in the world. VR is here to stay. We, the PSL, are not ready, but it's a process. I keep saying it's like a pilot license. There are a certain number of hours that referees need to go through. We are ready to start their training, and I would say it's not only referees, the broadcasters and all of that staff need to come on board with that. It's a big process, and we don't want the rush. We don't want to rush something and get it wrong. We want to bring it in and bring it in and do it correctly, so that everybody trusts that he says that those were the words of close quotes. Those were the words of Victor Gomes with regards to the VAR. Bundesliga side, Bayern Munich are said to be in talks with former mentor Hansi Flick as a possible replacement for current mentor Thomas Tuchel. Tuchel is said to be out. The 2021 Champions League winner with Chelsea is said to part ways with the Bavarians come end of the season, which was confirmed earlier this year. The Bavarians are also looking to, were also had also approached Ralf Rangnick, who turned down the job, and now Ralf Rangnick is no stranger to for European football, and he took over Manchester United on an interim basis after the sacking of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer following a string of poor results. Another mentor was approached was Xabi Alonso, who did fairly well, bringing Leverkusen their very first ever Bundesliga title. However, he's turned down the job and committed to Bayer Leverkusen. Now one of the few coaches who were linked with the job was Julian Nagelsmann, who was sacked despite leading the Bavarians to the Champions League quarterfinal. Flick is said to be a free agent and has been a free agent since he was relieved of his duties as German mentor following the Germans' shocking exit in the group stages of the 2022 FIFA World Cup, which took place in Qatar. In other news, bringing it back home, Skukuna United mentor Hlogonono Siama has been placed on special leave with a possibility of an exit. It appears that the coach and the management could not agree on terms with regards to the payment and appeared upset as he left the meeting. Members of the technical team, McDonald's Bakubedu and former Free State Stars captain and Paulos Masehe, who's also was a striker turned defender in his day, are said to take over on an interim basis. Now, Coach CMA, who was named DSTV Premiership Coach of the Month for both February and March, and took over the Babina Nogo seat before the end of last season, joining from rivals Bulukwane City, and inspired the club to good results. Babina Nogo, where he departed after citing a management interference. Babina Nogo sit comfortably and are guaranteed a place in the top in the MTN 8 in the new season. However, the coach's time at the club is yet to be decided. In other news, Bafana head coach Hugo Broos has named his provisional squad to take part in the to play Nigeria matches against World Cup qualifiers, crucial World Cup qualifiers, that is, against Nigeria and Zimbabwe. The first game is in with FIFA World Cup, which is set to take place in the United States, Mexico, and Canada. This is the second World Cup to be co-hosted since the Korea Japan World Cup in 2002, which was some 22 years ago. The first one to be hosted by three nations, with the third one also to be co-hosted by three nations in 2030 by Uruguay, Argentina. Uruguay, who are the pioneers of the World Cup and who started it all to celebrate the 100 years of the tournament. Uruguay, who hosted the tournament, the inaugural tournament in 1930, Argentina, and of course Morocco. But now Bafana traveled to Uyo to host rivals Nigeria, where they recorded their first ever victory over the Super Eagles and the in a competitive fixture after waiting since 1992 to make, which is 25 years to make it happen. Long-time rivals and our long-time rivals of Bafana and of course neighbors Zimbabwe in a COSAFA derby, which they will host in Bloemfontein on the 11th of June, while the Nigeria game will be played in while the Nigeria game will be played in Uyo on the 7th of June. 7th and the 11th of June, rather. Bafana goalkeepers, the squad, preliminary squad, which will be trimmed to 23, includes Captain Rodman Williams of Mamelodi Sundowns, Bruce Room of Kaizer Chiefs, Ricardo Gos of Supersport United, and Veli Muto of Amazulu, while defenders include Sydney Mobi of Skukuna United, Innocent Myla of Orlando Pirates, Kuliso given Simang of Kaizer Chiefs, Kuliso Mdao of Mamelodi Sundowns, Siangezana, who now plays in Romania, Tabiso Munyana plays for Pirates, Nkosinathi CBC, who also plays for Pirates, Tobin Vala, Terence Mashiko, Grant Kekana, Tapelo Morena, Aubrey Mudiba, all play for Pirates. So Tabelo Koiki and Tabo Moloisana are part of the defenders. Midfielders include Teboho Mukwena, who plays for Sundowns alongside Batusi Obas, Grant Markman, who plays for Supersport United, and Spebelos Torre plays football in Portugal, and Stellenbosch Starlet, and Jaden Adams. Forwards include Temba Zwane of Mamelodi Sundowns, Patrick Masongwanye, who's been exceptional for Orlando Pirates, Tepang Moremi, who's been exceptional at Amazulu, Evidence Mahopa, who plays for Orlando Pirates, Mihlali Mayambela, who plays in Europe, Darren Titus of Stellenbosch, Mloni Mbanjo of Amazulu, Elias Mukwana of Skokune United, who's been linked with Kaizer Chiefs in the new season, Austrian Apollos as one part of the squad, Akron Reyners, Lyle Foster, and of course, Relebohile Mofokeng. DSTV champions in other news, Mamelodi Sundowns could be facing the PSL disciplinary commission due to pitch invasion by the fans who went stormed into the stadium at the Danny Craven to celebrate the Sundowns' win over Stellenbosch, where they won 2-1 in the Nedbank Cup semi-final. Now, this is not the first time this has happened. It happened with Kaizer Chiefs back in 2022 after Kaizer Chiefs spectators stormed onto the pitch, breaking fences. In the 12,000 seater to celebrate with Kaizer Chiefs, where Kaizer Chiefs emerged victorious in a penalty shootout, which led to a fine of 500,000 rand, half of which was suspended. If you can just find the story, here it is. The Stellies, which edged to book a place in the final, edged Stellies. Sundowns now in the story. Sundowns edged Stellies 2-1 to book a place in the final against Orlando Pirates, which is in 2 weeks. Now the game has since been moved to at the Athlone Stadium. The Kaizer Chiefs game was also moved to Cape Town Stadium in the same season, which was in 2022, which was a league game. It went on to be played at the DHL Stadium. Now the game has been moved to Athlone Stadium following a pitch invasion after the May 5 fixture, as Sundowns fans celebrated the victory, which led to broken fences at their 12,000 capacity venue. Sundowns supporters planning to attend this weekend. This week to attend this weekend's DT Premiership encounter are requested to note that the fixture will now be played at the Athlone Stadium. The Stellenbosch announced on their official website. The highly anticipated fixture, which will be the second meeting between the two sides this month, will not be played in Stellenbosch. However, will be instead hosted at Athlone Stadium in Cape Town. Kickoff for that fixture is 3 o'clock and is among the 8 fixtures which will be played at 3 p.m. today. Although it is the responsibility of the home team in as far as the logistics are concerned, Sundowns fans are accounted for the majority of the crowd at Danny Craven Stadium, which was sold out to capacity and could face charges from the PSR committee. Instead, we saw Kaiser Chiefs who were fined 200,000 rather, half of which was suspended after their supporters invaded the pitch and broken faces at the same venue following the penalty shootout victory over Stellenbosch, as it did as a precedent with regards to the broken fences at Danny Craven. The Brazilians could also bear the cost. It is in addition to the 200,000 fines. Kaiser were also ordered to pay the cost of any of the inner perimeter fence breached by its supporters. The DC Roto disciplinary committee ruled in that case. The league was also ordered to pay the cost of the outer perimeter fence damaged as a result of the invasion due to the disciplinary committee characterized as inadequate security arrangements. Now in the Chiefs ruling, the league was also charged to carry the cost of the seating as opposed to Amakosi. This was on the understanding that the league was the organizer ought to have arranged security differently. Now this is differently. This was a conclusion that was made by a ruling that was made by PSL disciplinary committee prosecutor in Zola Majavu. On to our other news. One of our last bulletins to mention a few. Kaiser Chiefs. We're on to our news. We want to move to our second article before I give you the results and what you can expect. Now I must remind you that all things football is about deals with facts, no rumors, no gossip, just facts. This show revolves around everything that talks about it revolves around the happenings of the beautiful game, and from results, stories, news, and fixtures. Kaiser Chiefs are set to announce their new coach on Wednesday. Looking for the article. Car Chiefs are set to announce two new signings for the new season and their new coach. Kyle Chiefs to announce new coach and signings, which remains to be seen. A statement on the Soweto Giants' official website has indicated that a new coach and players will be unveiled by the club this week. Uh, on a Monday, a statement suggesting that Chiefs will unveil a new coach and players appeared on Wednesday on the club official website. Now, the statement has got the people excited along the Kosi Nation, as the club are known to be looking to fill the void left by Mlefinteki, who was relieved of his duties due to a string of poor results. Now, Nseke parted ways with the Soweto Giants in October 2023, which saw Kevin Johnson take over on an interim basis. According to managing director Kaizer Mutaung, the search for a new coach is over, and that the new men, along with two international signings, will be unveiled at a media conference on Sunday. A statement without a date read on the PSL Heavyweights website. When the club was called to respond when contacted, Kaiser Chiefs' corporate communications management, Vina Maposa, however, indicated that the statement was fake and fabricated. However, all things football will keep you up to date with regards to the happenings of what happened. Now, Kaiser Chiefs take on host Polokwane City in one of the 8 fixtures that are to take place today, to decide whether or not they will make the top 8. Let's talk about Thomas Tuchel. News just in. Thomas Tuchel seems to have made a decision with regards to his future, having had to be having seeing that he is on his way out of Bayern Munich. Let me just look for the story that just came in. We're still looking for the story. As we look for the story, Thomas Tuchel confirmed his future after there were talks about him staying on as manager at Bayern Munich. The Bavarians had announced in February that Tuchel would be leaving at the end of the season following a string of poor results, which saw them dethroned of the Bundesliga title by rivals by Leverkusen, who will be looking to win their first ever title. Bayern finished second, will finish the season without a trophy for the first time since the 2011-2012 season, and Thomas Tuchel has confirmed that he will not be returning. Now he's quoted in talking to ESPN in a training set during a press conference. This is my last press conference on this Bundesstraße. The agreement from February remains. There were further discussions, but we have not found an agreement on further cooperation. That's why the agreement remains. Thomas Tuchel also confirmed that the top scorer Harry Kane will miss the final game of the season after receiving treatment from his personal doctor, and he cannot travel as Bayern play an away game. He's away of the limit at is already at the limit. He was already on the limit in Madrid, a game that they lost to the Santiago Bernabeu at the Santiago Bernabeu, which was the UEFA Champions League semi-final against Bayern Munich. Come from behind 2-1 win to force a 4-3 win by the Los Blancos. He states that he was already at the limit in Madrid and he had a complete blockade in his back. It's gotten worse and it bothers him. That's why, which gives a clear explanation as to why he was substituted, which left many fuming. I remember left many pundits fuming as to why he was substituted, as we know that this is not the player you want to lose as your forward, the out and out number 9, one of the best strikers, only the second to win the Golden Boot in the Premier League. Let's give you the results starting from last week, the 11th of 11th of Saturday, 11th of May. Morocco Swallows would prove too strong for Stellies, winning by 2-0, giving Stellenbosch FC their second successive win. Gives their successive loss, handing Stellies their second successive defeat from goals from Lendo Charlie and Capatino Mango, while Polokwane City and Skukuni United could not be separated, playing to a goalless draw in a Limpopo derby. Peter Sharulile was the difference between Sundowns and Royal AM at the Lucas Moripa Stadium, on Sanile Barnes, who's set to join Stellies in the new season, is said to was the difference between Orlando Pirates and Richards Bay with that odd goal. TS Galaxy Spure Mahlango was cancelled Darren Gonzalez's opener from the penalty spot to force a 1-1 draw, while Golden Arrows and Chippa United also played to a 1-1 draw, while Victor Litsolo cancelled Berkeley Dupre's opener in the first half to force another 1-1 draw. Goals from Peter Shalulile and Lisibanko were enough on Tuesday to give Sundowns a double on Royal AM by 2-0. Saturday, we saw Vardiol get a brace in the 4-0 win for Fulham for Manchester City over Fulham. Everton marking themselves safe over the now relegated Sheffield United, beating them by that odd goal, while West Ham proved too strong for Luton Town, beating them by 3-1. Bournemouth falling short to Brentford by 2-1. Wolves also falling short to Palace, losing by 3-1. Tottenham beating Burnley by 2-1. Burnley have since been relegated, while Brighton and Newcastle could not be separated, playing to a 1-1 draw. And Nottingham Forest and Chelsea beat too strong for Nottingham, beating them by 3-2. Leandro Trossard proved to be the difference between Manchester United, Arsenal, and rivals Manchester United in the rivalry to keep their title hopes alive. Beating them by that odd goal in the 20th minute odd goal, while Aston Villa and Liverpool could not be separated in Villa Park went in a 3-3 draw despite trailing by 3-1 for most of the game. Tuesday we saw Manchester City's Erling Haaland give Manchester City a brace against Tottenham Hotspur without a reply. Wednesday, Chelsea fell short with Brighton almost coming back in a 2-1 win while Manchester United beat in another tight close encounter. Manchester United proving too strong for Newcastle United, winning by 3-2. Here's what you can expect as far as the games are concerned today. The penultimate fixtures for the PSL. Royal AM welcome Chippa United at the Harry Gwala Stadium. Will be playing for the PSL top flight lives to survive to avoid having to contest the playoffs. Kaiser Chiefs welcome Polokwane City at the FNB Stadium. Stellenbosch welcome Mamelodi Sundowns at the Athlone Stadium in a repeat of the Nedbank Cup fixture. Semi-final fixture, Golden Arrows welcome Cape Town Spurs. TS Galaxy take on Orlando Pirates at the Bombela Stadium. Supersport United welcome Moroka Swallows. Cape Town City take on Richards Bay, whilst Kukune United take on Mama Zulu, or Golden Arrows welcome the now relegated Cape Town Spurs. Tuesday, our only midweek fixture, which is a catch-up fixture for Mamelodi Sundowns. We'll see the champions taking on traveling to Mobile Stadium to take on TS Galaxy. Last Sunday for the Premier League tomorrow, the fixtures all kick off at 5 p.m. South African time. 10 fixtures. Liverpool taking on Wolves. We're gonna see who will be crowned champions. Will Arsenal end their 20-year drought and keep the league in London, or will Man City keep all the noisy Man City neighbors or will Man City keep the Premier League title for a fourth successive season, something that is yet to be done before in the Premier League season. Liverpool entertain Wolves at Anfield. Sheffield United take on Tottenham. Fulham travel to Luton Town. Brighton take on Manchester United at the Amex, where Manchester United have found it going tough over the seasons. Man City take on West Ham in what could decide. City need 3-4 points to win that league. If Arsenal and City, I must emphasize this, that if Manchester City and Arsenal matches are both finish in a draw, it'll come down to goal difference. The one team with a better goal difference will be crowned champions. Manchester City entertain West Ham, while Arsenal will entertain Everton at the Emirates. Brentford take on Newcastle. Palace entertain Aston Villa. Burnley will take on Nottingham Forest, while Chelsea will take on Bournemouth. And that's all we have time for. This is All Things Football. Remember to comment in the bottom section. If you take a like into the show, hit the thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button also to be part of the family. And of course, ring the bell for notifications of new episodes, which premiere every Saturday. However, this is the penultimate episode. Join me for the next episode, which will be last week, where we'll also give you the Nedbank Cup final exclusive, which will take place the following week on the 1st of June at the Bombela Stadium. This is All Things Football for myself, Apiwe Roto. Let's give it a name and call it a day. Enjoy the show, enjoy the football, take care of yourselves and each other. Cheers.